Thank you, Presiding Officer. Firstly, can I thank Bill Kidd for bringing forward this members' debate and the Jimmy Reid Foundation and authors of the report for their hard work in putting the case for the non-renewal of this obscene weapon on Scotland's shores. This report shows the real impact that the Trident successor programme will have in Scotland. It destroys Labour and Jackie Bailey's claim that not renewing Trident will cost thousands of jobs. In reality, 600 civilian jobs are dependent at Fastlane and Coolport, with the successor programme failing to bring even a single new job to the base. Of course, these 600 jobs are vital to the community, but without renewal, there will still be work at the bases for civilian workers for the next 12 to 15 years. By that time, half of these workers will have reached retirement age, have benefited from redeployment or voluntary exit from the sector. Renewing Trident will also have major knock-on consequences for Clyde shipbuilding, with renewal costs meaning fewer orders of new Type 26 frigates. Presiding Officer, scrapping Trident renewal is not a risk to jobs, but the astronomical cost of Trident, £200 billion, is costing jobs. We all know this money could be spent far more productively. It could be used to counteract the continuing decline in armed forces expenditure, decline that creates job losses not just in the Clyde but across the country. But, Presiding Officer, there's far more to this argument than pound notes. The recent Trident misfire and subsequent cover-up demonstrates the huge risk that these war machines present to us all. And if these weapons weren't risky enough, we cannot forget that the man who has control over this weapon on our land is President Trump. Can anyone say, hand on heart, that this prospect doesn't terrify them? Then there are the warheads transported by road, travelling through Scotland's most populated city. The Scottish Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament estimate that an accident on these convoys could lead to plutonium and uranium spreading across distances as vast as 17 kilometres, covering most of Glasgow and outlying areas such as my constituency in Eastern Bartonshire. The risk that these convoys pose to human life is simply unacceptable and cannot be allowed to continue. The Clyde Naval Base was chosen to be home to the UK's nuclear submarines due to the depth of the Gairloch. However, that body of water is nowhere near as deep as the splits on Trident within the Labour Party. Labour's position in Trident has become farcical, with a leader in Scotland in favour of nuclear weapons but opposing them, and a UK leader opposed to them but leading a party that supports the renewal. Confused? I certainly am. No, I'm almost finished, thank you. Presiding Officer, I believe our government has a mandate to get rid of Trident. The SNP have been elected for a historic third term, and in every one of our manifestos we have said we do not support Trident. Now is the time for us to start making plans about how we can do this. We cannot wait for permission we will never get from the UK government. We have to go ahead and rid our country of this obscene political weapon. We're the only party that can and will do this. We owe it to our children to support bairns, not bombs. I support this motion.
Thank you very much. I call Jackson Carlo, followed by Gil Powell.